Good morning, students. Today we will be doing the next topic, that is Battle of Kalinga and Ashoka's reversal, that is heart change. In the previous video we saw different topics, that is about Grand Trunk Road, then Bindusar, King Ashoka and many other things. But in this video we will be seeing a new topic, that is the Battle of Kalinga and how Ashoka had a heart change. Ashoka's reversal means, dear students, change of heart. How his attitude changed. Now what happened? Kalinga, the territory of Kalinga was in the neighborhood of Magad. It was considered as a part of Magad actually. So what happened here? This was ruled by the Nand kings. We saw about the Nand kings in the previous semester, in the first semester. But what happened after the Mauryan Empire came into existence? After the Mauryan dynasty came into existence, this was a totally different independent empire. Which one? Kalinga. But Ashoka had the habit of conquering different territories. So he thought that I will capture Kalinga because it is my neighboring territory. So he declared war on King Jayant of Kalinga. King Jayant was ruling in Kalinga. He declared war on that kingdom in the 8th year of his coronation. We saw in the previous video, he was coronated after 4 years. But after the 8th year of his coronation, of becoming the king, after the crown was placed on his head, he declared war on Kalinga territory, and King Jayant was the king of that place during that time. And there was a very great battle. This battle in history is very famous for its bad effects. That is, bloodshed was terrible. In this Kalinga war, many people died and many people were injured. Ashoka was victorious in the end. In the end, Ashoka gained victory in the war of Kalinga. But what did he see? He saw that the whole city and the whole battlefield where this war was held was filled with gloom and sorrow. Students, here the word gloom means sorrow, grief, much sadness. Everybody was sorrowful, everybody was sad. Now what happens here is, after Ashoka saw this gloom and sorrow, he thought that why should I be happy when people are sad? So when he saw the loss of life and property, all the things were destroyed, property was destroyed, life means many people died, and crying women and children, he could not bear that sight. So the joy of winning the war of Kalinga was lost. See the students here, this line is very important. The joy of his victory was lost totally. So this became the turning point in his life. The Battle of Kalinga became a turning point in his life. Even though he won the war, but because of the grief of the people and the loss and destruction which he saw, his joy was lost, and thereafter he lost his peace of mind. He began to think very sadly that what I have done is completely wrong. He lost his peace of mind. His heart was filled with remorse, that is repentance. He began to think, what have I done? I have done something which is a very great sin. He was filled with remorse and regret. Here means he felt sorry for what he had done. And he thought that this is the futility of war. Means it is futile, it is useless. It is worthless to fight wars. And that was the final war of his life. So this is very important over here. This Kalinga war was the final war of his life. He decided on that day itself, hereafter I will not fight any war in my life. So after the Battle of Kalinga, that is in the 8th year of his coronation, he decided, I will never again go for any other war in my life. This was a turning point of his life. He decided to become a religious person. The person over here is Upagupta, that is a Buddhist monk. He has told that Ashoka renounced his weapons and began to take up scriptures. That is, he threw away all his weapons, he did not want any of the weapons in his life, and he began to take up scriptures, that is religious books. He wanted to read scriptures, and he adopted Buddhism. He converted to the religion of Buddhism, and from a diplomatic king, a king who fights wars, from that he became a religious person. See, transformation of his mind. The topic here was reversal, heart change. He changed his mind. From a diplomatic person, he became a religious person. And he was the first ruler of India who gave the message through inscriptions. We saw in the previous video inscriptions on caves, rocks, pillars, stupas and viharas he had done. That is on stones, rocks. All those inscriptions were his message to the people. And his message language was mostly in Prakrit, but the script, what he wrote, was Brahmi. Now students, on page number 29 of your textbook, you can see this topic, Brahmi script. Here students, is written over there, most of the scripts of modern India have developed from Brahmi script. I told you that inscriptions language was Prakrit and script, the way we write, was Brahmi. So see the example in your textbook, you can see the letter A, that is the alphabet A in 5 different languages in that box there. First one is Prarambik Brahmi, that is A. Then Hindi, that is Devanagari script, Hindi which we use now. A in English and in Hindi. Then in Bangla language, A is written as this topic as you have seen in the box. In Malayalam language, A is written in this manner. And in Tamil language, A is written in this way. So the alphabet A is shown in 5 types in this script over here. That is, the first one is for the Prarambik Brahmi and then 4 different languages are shown there. So this script was used by Ashoka for his inscription, but the language used was Prakrit. Now students, we'll see the next topic, that is Ashoka's inscription describing the battle of Kalinga. I just told you that he inscribed many things on rocks, pillars, stupas and all. So in your textbook on page 29 and 30, you have a small inscription of Ashoka, that is his message to the people, what he wanted to convey. You can see the box on page 29. Ashoka's inscription was, while describing about his Kalinga war, Ashoka got this written on the stone inscription, that is on the rock inscription. 8 years after becoming king, I conquered Kalinga. We saw in the previous topic, after the 8th, that is 8th year of his coronation, he declared war on Kalinga. About 1.5 lakh people were imprisoned. They were sent to jail. Imprisoned means sent to jail. More than 1 lakh people were killed. See students, approximate figures are given here. More than 1 lakh people, imagine. And this made me very sad. That is, Ashoka saw the gloom and grief of the people and he also became very sad due to that. People who love their relatives and friends and are gracious towards their slaves. Now students, here the word slaves means those who work in the household of people, rich people. They were categorized as slaves, not servants. They were known as slaves. Gulam, in Hindi we say that, because they used to do much of their work. And sometimes they were treated properly, sometimes they were not treated properly. But in this case, people who loved their relatives, friends, and their slaves also, those who were working in their houses, and dead are also killed in the war, or they lose their loved ones. That is, people did not want this to happen. Because many lost their relatives, many lost their friends, many lost their slaves, and many people lost their loved ones. So I am regretting. I stands here for Ashoka, Ashoka's inscription. He is saying this to the people. I am regretting means he is feeling sorry for that. Now I have decided to follow Dhamma and teach other people its principles. Now students, there is a note there in the ending of this box. Dhamma is the Prakrit form of Sanskrit word Dharma. Dharma, which we say in Hindi, Dharma. Dharma is a Sanskrit word and the Prakrit form, I told you the language used for the inscription was Prakrit. Only the script, the way he writes was Brahmi. So the Prakrit word of Dharma is Dhamma. So now I have decided to follow Dhamma. Why? Because his heart changed. Reversal of heart we saw in the previous topic. So he decided to leave all these philosophies of war. He stopped declaring war on any territory. The war of Kalinga was the last war of his life. Now he is deciding to follow what? Dhamma. That is spiritual life. Dhamma is spiritual life. And teaching other people the principles of religion, the values of religion. I believe that winning people's heart through Dharma or Dhamma is better than forcefully winning people. What do you mean by this? Instead of fighting and winning people, forcefully means war. Instead of winning in that way, it's better to teach people the principles of religion, win their hearts. I am carving this inscription as a message for the future. He has written this as an inscription. See students, if you go now to all these places which we saw in the map, in the second video, you can see these inscriptions. So I am carving this inscription. He has engraved this inscription. Till today it is there for the people, so for the future, so that after me, my son and even grandchildren do not think of indulging in war. That is, he is giving this as a message to his children, the next generation and generations to come, and all the people of the world, that they should not fight or go for war. They should think about the ways in which they could spread Dhamma. So here this inscription ends here. That is, his message to the people ends. That is, nobody should indulge in war in the near future in their lives. Why? Because winning the hearts of people is good in a good way, in a spiritual way, through Dhamma or Dharma, not by war. Now, about the inscriptions of Ashoka, which we saw, language is Prakrit, you can find one of that inscription on the way to Damodar Kund. Where is it? It is near Girnar mountain in Junagadh, that is in Gujarat, near Girnar mountain, Damodar Kund in Gujarat. And what does that inscription contain? It is an article of 3 kings, and it is taken from the message of King Mahakshatrapa Rudradaman, from King Mahakshatrapa Rudradaman, and details mentioned in that article are about the Sudarshan Talav. Talav means lake or reservoir. And this Sudarshan lake was constructed by Governor Pushyagupta. Students, you remember Governor Pushyagupta? He was a governor during the time of King Chandragupta Maurya. The second thing which is in that inscription is about the canals. Students, in your textbook, a full stop is missing there after Pushyagupta. You have to put a full stop there. Then the sentence starts. Canals for irrigation were constructed by Yavan Raj. Who is Yavan Raj, students? Yavan Raj was the governor during the time of King Ashoka. So, there are 3 things in that inscription, in that message of King Ashoka. First, article of 3 kings, and it is taken from King Mahakshatrapa Rudradaman. Second, details of Sudarshan Lake or Sudarshan Talav, constructed by Governor Pushyagupta. And third, about canals. Why are canals made, students? Canals are small water bodies, streams type, constructed by human beings. Why? Because it is used for irrigation by farmers. And these canals were constructed by Yavan Raj, who was the governor of King Ashoka. Students, here we conclude this topic. The next topic we'll be studying in the next video. Okay, students? Thank you.